Hello everyone and welcome back to the Perfect French with Dylan. Today we are going to learn everything about la voix passive, the passive voice. It's a very quick lesson. On the book we are going from page 285 to 286. So in English and in French we both use la voix passive the exact same way. Both are similar in use and information. Both in English and in French are going to be built with the verb être, to be. So when do we use the passive voice? La voix passive is used to shift the focus of the sentence to the second character or the second action. So two things to remember about it is that the verb, like I said, is always going to be conjugated with être. No matter if it's a verb that is actually conjugated with être, in compound tenses such as passé composé, futur antérieur, etc. We saw the list before. This is totally different. Even the verbs conjugated with avoir are going to be conjugated with être in the passive voice. And since they are conjugated with être, the past participle is going to agree in gender and number with the subject. Basically, I spent the whole course telling you that some verbs are conjugated with avoir, other with être. Now I'm telling you that they're all conjugated with être in the passive voice, la voix passive. So we are going to take one sentence and then we are going to see it in 4 different tenses. We are going to see it in présent, passé composé, imparfait, and futur simple. We are going to go from actif to passif. Very easy, you will see. For the present tense, we have le banquier appelle la cliente. Le banquier appelle la cliente. Now if we turn it into a passive sentence, we have la cliente est appelée par le banquier. La cliente est appelée par le banquier. So let's look at this sentence. First point to note is that we have the verb être conjugated in the present tense. And then we have appeler, which is the past participle of the verb appeler. So the ending is a et, and then we add e because it's la cliente, feminine. And I don't know if you noticed, but we have the word par that we add after the verb. By the banker. Once again, don't overthink it too much. It's the exact same way in English. The client is called by the banker. By. Par. Now, passé composé, we have le banquier a appelé la cliente. Le banquier a appelé la cliente. Passif. La cliente a été appelée par le banquier. La cliente a été appelée par le banquier. Once again, has been called by the banker, a été appelé par le banquier. Now imparfait, le banquier appelait la cliente. Le banquier appelait la cliente. La cliente était appelée par le banquier. La cliente était appelée par le banquier. So the verb être conjugated in imparfait. Futur simple, le banquier appellera la cliente. Le banquier appellera la cliente. La cliente sera appelée par le banquier. La cliente sera appelée par le banquier. So as you see, it's very similar to the English form. But, you know that in French there's always a but. But we don't use the passive form as much as you do in English. Once again, the passive form this way will be very formal. What we use more is the use of on, or even sometimes il. For example, la voiture a été réparée. La voiture a été réparée. We are most likely going to say on a réparé la voiture. On a réparé la voiture. We fixed the car. Or we can even say ils ont réparé la voiture. Ils ont réparé la voiture. We use on to talk about the generality and we use they to talk about people without naming them. That's more or spoken French of passive. So if you're ever in a conversation in French, or if you overhear a conversation in French and they're talking about on as we did something, they might not have done it themselves. If I say on a réparé la voiture, I don't mean that we did it. I mean that someone else did it. How confused are you right now? So be very careful when you hear on in French, because it might not be about the people who are speaking. So la voix passive is very easy, unless it's spoken French, because then you have to know about on and about il. When you feel comfortable with the subject, you can do the exercise 16.1. A quick point about the simple past, le passé simple. I am not going to make a video on it because I don't think you should study it. It's the tense that we don't use anymore. You should be able to recognize it, but really we don't use it. You're never going to hear it. Unless you read very, very old books, very, very old poetry, and things like that, you're not going to use it. So I will say, recognize it, don't study it. You can see it on the page 291 of the book. Tomorrow is going to be the last lesson of the course. We are going to do a quick recap of everything we saw. Very quick, so it's still worth to watch all the videos, but tomorrow we are going to do a very, very quick recap, just to review everything that we saw without too many rules. So I will see you tomorrow. À demain.